So, if you've been thinking about a career change, you're going to want to pay attention. The renewable energy industry is just exploding right now, and 2026 is shaping up to be a massive year. See, countries all over the world are scrambling to hit their net zero targets, and that's creating this incredible demand for skilled people. We're going to break down exactly what this green rush means for you. And when I say incredible demand, I am not kidding. Just look at this number. To hit its climate goals, the UK government alone is looking to hire an extra 400,000 workers for the green energy sector by 2030. This isn't some slow, gradual change. This is a full-on talent drive to build the workforce for our energy future. And here's the crucial part. This isn't just about hiring kids straight out of university. The industry is actively hunting for experienced pros from places like construction, oil and gas, and engineering, people who can bring their skills over. This quote from Navitas Resourcing Group just nails it. The doors are wide open for people who are ready to make a switch. So here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll look at the backbone of the grid. These are the hands-on jobs building everything. Then we'll get into the brains of the projects, the people who manage it all. After that, we'll explore the digital nervous system that's making our grid smart. And finally, we'll lay out your path into renewables. All right, let's dive right in. At the absolute heart of this whole energy transition are the technicians and specialists who are literally building and maintaining our new power systems. These are the folks on the front lines, turning blueprints into actual power. The demand for these roles is just soaring. I mean, it makes sense, right? As we build more and more wind farms and solar parks, we need a huge crew of technicians to install, run, and fix them. And at the same time, the national grid itself is getting a massive upgrade, which is creating thousands of jobs for high-voltage specialists. Let's just focus on wind for a second. The UK is aiming for 50 gigawatts of offshore capacity. To put that in perspective, that's a ton of power, and it means the need for wind technicians is just exploding. Globally, they're estimating we'll need over 500,000 technicians by 2028. That makes it one of the hottest jobs in the entire sector. Now, here's what's really cool about this slide. Look at these skills. So many of them are transferable. If you're an electrician right now, or a mechanic, or a service engineer in a totally different industry, you already have the core skills that employers are desperate for. You are much, much closer to a career in renewables than you probably think. So the key to unlocking those jobs is often getting the right piece of paper. GWO is the worldwide standard for safety training. And for anyone who wants to work on a wind turbine, especially offshore, employers basically see these certificates as non-negotiable. They are your ticket to get in the door. Of course, for every technician climbing a turbine, there's a whole team of people managing the operation from the ground. So let's look at the brains of the project, the strategic minds that are responsible for taking a big idea and turning it into a real functioning power plant. These roles are absolutely essential. We're talking about the project managers coordinating these massive, multi-million-pound developments, the financial analysts figuring out the risk, the engineers designing how it all connects to the grid, and of course, the safety experts making sure everyone goes home safe. They're the critical link between the vision and the reality. But here's the thing. The role of a project manager is changing, and it's changing fast. It's not just about schedules and budgets anymore. By 2026, a great project manager needs to be fluent in digital tools, using things like AI to control the project. This means using data to predict delays before they happen and manage these complex jobs with way more precision. And there's another major shift happening. Every single project now has to be looked at through a sustainability lens. This means understanding things like carbon accounting, sustainable supply chains, and ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance reporting. This is becoming a huge differentiator. It's not just a nice-to-have anymore. It's right at the heart of how modern projects get done. You know, the biggest transformation in energy isn't just about building new turbines. It's about making the entire grid smart. And that brings us to the smart grid, the digital layer that's going to control how power moves in the 21st century. For about 100 years, our grid was a one-way street. Power flowed from a big power plant down the wires to your house. End of story. The smart grid? It's a dynamic, two-way network. Power and data are flowing in both directions, talking to everything from solar panels on a roof to an electric car in a garage. And all that complexity is exactly why data skills have become so incredibly important. All those smart devices, the meters, the sensors, the turbines, are creating an absolute tidal wave of data. Data analysts are the people who make sense of it all. They spot patterns, they drive efficiency, and they help create a grid that can react and adapt in real time. This is where the world of energy and the world of tech really collide, creating brand new careers. And this is where the real magic happens, with machine learning becoming the brain of the smart grid. ML algorithms are crunching all that data to do some amazing things, like predictive maintenance. They can predict a fault in a piece of equipment before it even breaks, or real-time optimization, balancing supply and demand across the country second by second. It's a super complex system, but it all comes down to using data to build a smarter, safer energy future. Okay, so we've seen the huge demand for technicians, for managers, for data gurus. The last question is, with all this opportunity out there, how do you actually make the move into a career in renewable energy? Well, here's a clear 4-step plan. First, take a good look at your own experience. Your project management or engineering skills are gold. Second, find the key certifications, like GWO for technicians or NEBOSH for safety roles. Third, beef up your digital skills. Getting familiar with industrial control systems like SCADA or even just basic data tools will make you stand out. And finally, get out there and start talking to people in the industry. But beyond any technical certificate, employers tell us again and again that these are the qualities they value the most. In the energy sector, projects are complicated and they can be dangerous. They work because people can rely on each other, because they can communicate clearly when the pressure's on, and because they work as a team. Never, ever underestimate how powerful these skills are. Look, the shift to clean energy is one of the biggest industrial changes of our lifetime, and it's all happening right now. The demand for skilled, dedicated people has never been higher. So the only question left is the one right there on your screen.